Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. An attorney within the XRP community has stated today that the SEC done messed up effectively because they have underestimated Ripple, and he says they probably expected that Ripple would have just given up, but they haven't, and they shouldn't. And that's great because Ripple will be found, I believe, it will be found to be on the right side of the law. I've also got some comments from one of the 5 commissioners that voted on whether or not to go ahead and ultimately make claims against Ripple that were filed ultimately on December 22nd of last year, alleging that Ripple has had one endless ICO effectively, endlessly selling XRP as an investment contract. And so, interesting comments from this commissioner, Hester Peirce, who effectively is acknowledging that the SEC has not been on top of things. And so I was sitting here, and I'll just tell you here at the outset, hearing her comments specifically made me think, my gosh, this is one of the commissioners that voted on this. And I don't know for sure how she voted. If I had to guess, I'd guess that she voted to not have the SEC litigate against Ripple based on a lot of things that she's been saying. But she's effectively acknowledging, this is the way I took it anyway, that there's no way that Ripple could have had fair notice because the SEC has been so slow to react. So I'll share with you the specifics of what she had to say, but I do want to be clear at the outset. I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos as a fun hobby. It's a super duper fun hobby about Ripple and crypto and all the asshats over at the SEC. Having a killer time or a day. And so here's a video clip which was shared by my fellow XRP YouTuber, Crypto Eddie. And the caption here, caption I guess maybe the wrong word, but the Crypto Eddie wrote, "No, no, no, Mom." And so before I watched this video clip, which was 30 seconds long, I was like, what does that mean? No, 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 Mom. And so I'm going to share with you right now what Hester Peirce had to say. I went ahead and transcribed this here. And I'm going to break it down a little bit along the way. And so Hester Peirce, again, one of the 5 commissioners, and she did have a vote as to whether or not the SEC would ultimately sue Ripple. And we're going to find out how she voted. That actually will be made public, but it won't be made public until this case is either settled or fully adjudicated. So we're going to have to wait a little bit, but we will find out. My for fun guess is that she was against it. For a number of reasons I've already talked about in recent videos, so I won't rehash them here in this video, but that's my for fun guess. But here's what she had to say in this most recent video clip. And as I was listening to this, I was like, yes, I know exactly. But here's what she said. If something involves crypto, it means it slows it down in the process of getting approved at the SEC. Some of that may change, but it does become harder to change once you've established a precedent of saying no, no, no all the time. It becomes harder to say yes. And I think that's a challenge that we're facing in the United States now because the market has gotten really big. And so let me pause right there before I even finish reading the transcription here. Effectively, the United States, rather than take action when entities would come, you think about even ETFs right now, the answer has just been no, no, no. It really has. And so it shows a clear pattern in my mind of the SEC refusing to take action and just frankly not giving a damn. They just didn't care. And now that they feel like, okay, the market's so big, we must take action now, they're just taking a hammer to everything, and they don't care who they hurt in the process, as long as they look good to the general public who might be clueless of the specifics of what's going on here. And then Hester Peirce proceeded as follows. She said, "And so the consequences of our decisions in this space now are a lot larger than they would have been earlier on if we had allowed some experimentation on a smaller scale. If something involves crypto, it means it slows it down in the process of getting approved at the SEC." And so there you go. Could have done something on a smaller scale, could have allowed for testing, could have, maybe not tried to completely destroy the crypto asset class in the United States, but that's not the approach that that the SEC has been taking, not under Jay Clayton and not under new SEC chair Gary Gensler, thus far at least. And based on what Gary Gensler said, I to be honest with you, I am not optimistic that the ship's going to change course here. So we'll see what happens. I'm still optimistic for Ripple, but in terms of the tone the SEC has taken, no, I'm not feeling so hot about that. Now, for those of you that missed it, there was another legal filing. This is what legal filing 456,000. It seems like. My gosh, it's crazy how many legal filings are constantly getting tossed back and forth from Ripple and the SEC. And so this one, I want to make sure you're aware of this before I go into the next comment. So I want to just kind of set the table here. I'll be brief on this, though, because I made a full video really unpacking this just yesterday. But here's a tweet from James Filan, who is an XRP community member, and he's an attorney, and he's been sharing a ton of these documents that get filed. And so this is the most recent and important one. XRP community, SEC versus Ripple. Ripple and individual defendants file their response to the SEC's motion to quash William Hinman's deposition. And so led to an article like this being written today. This is a brand new article from today titled, "Will Court Let Ripple Force Ex-SEC Director to Testify About XRP?" And so what's going on here is Ripple has some questions for William Hinman, a figure who is... let's just say he's made out like a bandit financially, and it's as a direct result, it seems, of the policy that he set along with other people at the SEC, even though he's now claiming it was just his personal opinion. But it was as a result of the policy that he set for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It ultimately enriched him because his law firm that he was working at, which he quit to work at the SEC, and then once he quit the SEC, went to work there again, they directly benefited because they have a relationship with the Ethereum Foundation, a number of other things that I'm not going to unpack them in this video again. Hopefully for most of you, you're like, yes, we already know, but just in case for those that don't, that there are some profits made here. And so as a result of this, Ripple wants to speak to William Hinman, and I think specifically what they'd be asking about, among other things, would be the fact that he gave a speech in 2018 that gave Ethereum a golden pass, despite the fact that there actually was an ICO, even though it wasn't called that in 2014. There was an Ethereum ICO, but Ethereum has gotten a golden pass. They're not going after Ethereum based on previous transactions, and that were sold by the Ethereum Foundation to retail investors, to straight up retail investors, not just institutional investors. They're not going after them for that or current sales. They just get the golden pass, while the Ripple, they get the shaft. For what reasons, we don't know exactly, other than if the speculation is right here, and it's an if, I admit that, but if it is, it was to enrich themselves, perhaps. And so I'm not making a claim that they did anything illegal. I'm acknowledging I don't know for sure, but the optics are really bad. Really, really bad. Does not look pretty. I think it's fair to question this. So I think Ripple wants to ask him, so how did you come to the conclusions that you came to about the speech that you gave? We'd kind of like to know that, right? And so James K. Filan, he responded to something that another attorney, Arturo Portilla, tweeted out right here. And so earlier today, Arturo Portilla wrote the following. If the SEC is so convinced they're on the right side of the facts and the law, re. the lawsuit against Ripple, why are they not launching other enforcement actions against projects that are akin to XRP when it comes to issuance or distribution? What are they exactly waiting for? To which James Filan, attorney and XRP community member, wrote the following. I think the SEC underestimated Ripple and thought they would roll over, and that isn't going to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, and it's also, and this is just a matter of fact thing, and actually Attorney Jeremy Hogan has spoken about this on at least one occasion. But the SEC, like, you can't litigate every single claim that is brought by the SEC. In fact, the stat is it's either 90. I think it's 90. I could be wrong. It's either 90 or 95%. I think 95% of lawsuits that are filed by the SEC end up getting settled out of court. 95%, which is astonishing. But the truth of the matter is, as Jeremy Hogan has talked about publicly, if 100% of these cases actually had to be fully adjudicated, the whole system would fall apart because there isn't enough of manpower to make that actually happen here. So that's one thing. The SEC, I think, actually does want to bring a whole bunch more motions. They recently begrudged the fact that they had only filed 75 lawsuits in the blockchain space. Only 75, right? It's because they can only go so many. So as far as why they picked on Ripple, it is impressive that, I mean, the arrogance, because they're so wrong on the facts of this case. They're so wrong. It's so backwards what they're insisting is the case here. This is exactly why the whole XRP community has been speculating. They're so wrong. What were the actual motives? It's so absurd. There has to be something else going on here. But yeah, maybe it's perfectly plausible speculation that maybe the SEC really did just expect Ripple to roll over and give up, but that hasn't happened. And then James Filan also wrote the following. In my experience, most parties pursued by the government either do not have the intestinal fortitude or the resources to go the distance. The government relies on that fact. Here, however, Ripple has both. And as Mary Jo White said, the SEC is wrong on the facts and the law. And Mary Jo White, she actually formerly worked at the SEC, and she now is an attorney at what's the firm? Debevoise and Plimpton, I think. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the one. I believe that's the one. And she's with Andrew Seresny, another Ripple attorney who also used to work at the SEC. And they both, again, former SEC employees, think that the attorneys at the SEC running this case are out of their goddamn minds, frankly. And I agree. So there you go. The Ripple, seriously, this is a rare position that Ripple's in, because they certainly have, as James Filan quoted, the intestinal fortitude, but to go the distance, but also the resources. Ripple has quite the war chest, and they're not going to go away without a serious fight. They will not capitulate. That much is clear right now. So I'd rather be in Ripple's position than the SEC's position. I would not want to have the job of any of these SEC attorneys. I'll just say that right here. So yeah, they done messed up, and now this is what they have to deal with. But I'll go ahead and wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.